Hello guys, my name still remain Biodo GTM, the anchor of Cartridge Solution Plays and Academy. Today is April 24, 2021. Today my video, I tagged it a lesson time. Today I have a very important visitors today purposely came to me for seeing me get some little mentorship, looking at what can be tapped and what can be gained in the cartridge business. In here, I have Mama T and friends. They visited me today, 24 April 2021. Their purpose of visiting is one, to book their seats for the upcoming fish stock that they want to stock, so they deserve having my seats. To sample my seeds, to see the performances, to get my guide, because presently they have at least close about 6 of my ebooks, and which they have been following, and they did that. I've been guiding them. This is the first time we'll be seeing. They have been following me on my YouTube pages, on my social media pages like YouTube, Instagram, my Facebook page. They have been following me diligently for a very long time, and prior to this time they got my books, and that's what they have been using in guiding them. So they decide calling me and trying to see me one-on-one and get my seats so that they can follow my due process. The most what really happened is that by the time we have to meet, we now realized we are even neighbors. So what a wonderful God. So they are here today in order to tap from some of our years of experience and to make it into practice in their farm. In this, that is why I normally encourage farmers to try their best to move at least a little bit closer to an expert in order to guide them on their farming season. We do visit a lot of farms, and on a daily basis, we do a lot of supplies on a daily basis. We do a lot of mentorship on a daily basis. We do a lot of trainings on a daily basis. So I think with that, we gain, and we had more experiences to what we have even had before, because the understanding is that learning is a gradual process. Nobody knows it all. So by the time we move around, we do a lot of practical trainings, which allow us to have more edge in the way of which we can advise you to success in the catfish farming business. Unlike other businesses, catfish farming is highly technical, that need some guide. That means we call it the best practice of handling it. That is the only way you can make it in catfish business. We have a lot of best practice. I would not want to break all that, but I will just give a fundamental best practice that if people do ask, how can you make a profit in cartridge business? What are the steps for you to make profit in cartridge business? The one of the key factors in making success in cattle business, one is your seeds, which is highly very important. Where do you get your seeds from? What is the healthy strength of your seeds? What are the resistance level of your seeds? For example, there's a video I did, and I was instead of me lowering the seed into the pond, I decided pouring it higher at the pond's level. So somebody commented on my page that the seeds has to be lowered in the pond. That's the process of introducing fish seeds to the ponds. I have to tell him immediately that at least his experience is very shallow. What I mean by shallow experience is that your level of your seeds predetermines on your handling. If you're having a very weak seeds, that will give you that edge of you being afraid of your handling. That means the resistance and the strength now of the fishes. So I know that my fishes are well trained. They can resist any kind of trauma. So by me pouring that seeds at that level, and by the time I did that, automatically sometimes I do feed as well, so that this will tell you how confident I am in the seeds that I brought. So that's one of the first things you need to check in your fishes. If you see if your fishes are weak and you try and pouring it into the pond, you'll be started seeing a lot of drops. What can really cause this is one, maybe the stress level of the fishes, maybe the way the transportation really affect them and they are really highly stressed. But if your fishes are well packed, if your fishes are well monitored, and by the time you are pouring it into the pond, you don't need to be scared. The fishes will be always active. So sometimes that is why you see me pour my seeds like that. You'll be seeing a lot of videos. Upon all these days, we have close to about 100 videos that we are not downloaded to YouTube. So you'll be seeing a lot of things that you can really tap on. So one, seeds is very important. Your seeds are very important. Make sure that you have a very healthy seed. Not even about the parent stocks now. Well-trained healthy seeds, because I normally tell breeders that there's a way. It's like when you are breeding dogs. So when you see a very an expert breeds dogs, puppies, you will see that they trains them. So as well, we normally train our fish, our seeds. How do you train your seeds? You train your seeds through one, good feed. Give them the appropriate feed they need to take at that particular time of that stage they are. Make sure that you clean and change the water. Clean your pond. Make sure that your pond is not dirty. All these can easily cause infections to your fishes. So if your ponds are not slippery, if your ponds are not dirty, if the ponds is not congested, your fishes will be very healthy. They look dark and very healthy. So make sure that you change your water regularly. Give them the feed that requires. Also I do use a lot of salt bait in order for my preventive measures. So if you can inculcate to that as well, that will really help you. Make sure that you train them, teach them, feed them. What I mean by my training is that, again, if I want to feed my fishes, there's a techniques we use in feeding them so that they will be very lively. You have to energize them. Through all that is the training we give to such fishes. That makes them very, very healthy and active. So by the time you get to your ponds, that performances is what they carry on. Another factor now is your water. How good is your water? What are your water parameters? But if you are running a grow out system, do you really need to really test some parameters in your water? That is the questions. If you are stocking a juvenile seed, while looking at other parameters, the best parameters to look at for that is your pH. So by the time you convert your pH and you think your pH is around 5, 4.5, 5, so what you can do that is that make sure that you get a healthy juvenile seed. A healthy juvenile seed can still survive that particular pH level. So by the time you stock them, make sure that their water is always clean. Make sure that immediately you refreshed the water, make sure that you introduce feed. The purpose of you introducing feed to them is that the feed will control the pH level of your water immediately. This is a practical experience though. Not everybody really understand, but by the time you put it into practice, you check your water level immediately, you feed, you will really understand what I'm talking about. So this can automatically control the pH level of your of the water for them at that particular period. So make sure that you change your water regularly. Make sure that your water is not polluted with wasted feed. That is why I normally encourage guys to get my journals. I have a lot of journals, that means a lot of books on your feeding frequency, how to feed your fishes, on not how to waste your fishes for your seed. So make sure that you get a copy of some of my journals too as well. So after your water, your seeds, the other factors to really look at is your feed. What is the quality of your feed? Are you just giving your fishes junks? I have visited a lot of farms which I do understand sometimes they have mentors, they have farm managers, but I am a little bit surprised when you want to cut cost in your farm and you started giving your fishes shaft. My questions to them, if I visit any farm, is that why are you looking fresh and bogus if you are feeding on shaft? Sometimes I visited farms and I when their children are introduced to me, I see them very, very charming, fresh, healthy, and their fishes are not healthy. So that is the problem. So fishes too are like they are infants, they need care. So what you are giving to them tells on their body tissues. So you need to know the kind of feed you are giving to your fishes. That is why there's a fundamental principle that fishes has different stages of feed at a particular given period. What I meant by that is that if you are having a post-fingerling seeds, you can't give them 4 mm. You can only give them 1.5 or 0.8. And the crude protein level of such feed is high. So why the crude protein is high, it interrelates that they need a particular nutritional value, a nutritional content to grow their body tissues at that particular time. So why will you be giving your fishes shaft and you think they will grow? So I will advise you to really understand. If you don't understand, please, there's nothing in learning. There's nothing in carving some money out, give to a very professional person on cartridge business to guide you through. As I'm telling you presently, I am still paying for lectures. I paid for lectures. It may not be on cartridge farming, but some other learning skill I need to build myself. Because as I said before, learning is a gradual thing, and I need to expand my tentacles in some other ways too. So I do paid. I paid, sometimes I paid 50, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 for trainings, so that I will learn more in order to grow my understanding on other aspects that can generate income for me and my family. So those are the principal three factors that I will mention on this video. I will talk about other factors in my upcoming video too as well. So for now, these are the three factors I will mention, and I hope with these three factors you can really understand how to grow your fishes if you are doing grow out. If you are a breeder, there are other factors. There are a lot of factors I will mention on my upcoming videos that you may follow, that may guide you, because as we all know that breeding is one of the profiting section in cartridge business, and which is the most highly technical part of the business. The breeding business in cartridge farming can be highly frustrated. It can frustrate you. It can turn a millionaire into a cobbler's man, and it can turn a cobbler's man into a billionaire. So understanding cartridge breeding is very, very important, which I would give out some factors that may help you as a breeder. And if you think you really want to learn more skills about breeding, I have a book, that means my ebook on catfish hatchery and fries management. You can also get my e-video on catfish farming and fries management. All those fundamentals are there. There's no how you will get that video and my ebook that you would not be a professional in cartridge breeding. You don't need to ask a professional on how to go to a breeding. You don't need to go for a seminar if you have those journals with you. So make sure that you have a copy of those journals presently for the month of May, because May is one of my presently a special day for me, a special month for me. So I'm giving out, if you are getting a copy of my video on cartridge hatchery and management, I'll be giving you my ebook free of charge. So for the 50 people to contact me on getting a copy, you'll be having my book free of charge inclusive. So make sure that you don't dull yourself. Make sure that you try to pay to earn. It's very, very important for you to pay to earn. Don't be greedy on some aspect, because this will really tell on your business and will really tell on your earnings. So you don't get greedy on informations. You don't get greedy on learning the positive information. So try as much as possible. If you want to be a breeder, I understand now that the country is not really favoring everybody, so there are a lot of complaints here and there. So to me, putting out that money as a tithe to learn a business skill is more important than putting it up as a tithe in a beer parlor. So get a copy of my journals and learn and know about cartridge business. Once again, my name is Tilemen Biodun Tutola DTM, the anchor of Cartridge Solution Place and Academy.